ちょっと今始めたかな。これでいけるかも。いけないっぽいっすわ。いけてないね。いけたわ。オッケー。サンリオ10時間1回に経っていました。いつものことです。いつかは期待できるでしょう。どうですかこれ今。あれカチャカチャめっちゃ入ってるね。カチャカチャ
カチャカチャ
カチャカチャめっちゃ入ってんじゃない？
わかんない。ちょっと待って。
カチャカチャめっちゃ入ってそう。
いいんじゃない？キーボードのカチャカチャ音ぐらい。パソコンゲームするときはもうしゃあねえだろ。
ああ、そ
う。いや、みんないいよ。多分いろんなとこ調べられる。
調べる。
なんか、左クリックとか右クリックとかで調べられない。
調べられん。
パソコンとかはスタンリーの仕事道具やから。電話光ってないのか。
赤くなってるけど。
ダメか。
あ？左クリックは反応してる？
出るんじゃない？右クリック左クリックで。まあいいんじゃない？
いい感じ。
いや、音は全然いい。さっき確認したけど。普通だった。
これさ、左クリックいけてる？
いけてるよ。カチャカチャ言ってるよ。
あ、会議室に行くことにしました。会議室どこっすか？
いや、いろいろ見てったろ。
開くんかな？あかんな。
扉全部閉まってるけど、あかんのかね、この辺。
あかんっす。
お、
マジで指示待ちだ。すごい。指示くれるよ。
扉あかんかな、その辺も。
あれこれ会議っぽいよ。あれ寝ちゃう。
全部閉まってんね。一本道じゃん。
全然締まり。あ、絶対ここ。来た。あ、本当に指示くれるよ。上司のオフィス。上司のオフィスに。
モニターとか。How to solve
Using スライド。
策わからん。
ちょっとね、難しいですね。
あ、
来た。
開いてよ。
何はありません。すごい教えてくれるな、これ。とりあえず上司のね、部屋に行かないといけないですよね。なんでこんなに誰も人がいなくなったんだと。めっちゃいいとこやん、これ。上司が誰もいないね。これが上司の眺め。
偉くなったもんや、お前も。
本当です。デスクの後ろにキーパッド。2485。会場。
間違ってる。2845。
あ、285。あ。
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing
sheer
statistical up. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
いや、驚きだ。
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
ちょっと待って、左に。
あ、こっち？
すごい工場みたいな。
ちょっと待って、すごい。これもしかして、すごいことが行われてるんじゃないの？
下に行くだけのボタンやばいな。直通じゃん。
すごいシンプル。これどうなんの？
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more
確かに
free
確か
to
に。
think for himself, to
ボタンを
question
押せ
the
と
nature of his job.
言われてるだけの人生だったけど。
When for years it had never
究極の指示増し人間に初めて自我が生まれた。
question would not go
なるほどね。
for long.
こうやって成長していくわけね。スタンリー。
Stanley walked
Oh,
straight ahead
shot.
through the large
Stanley.
door that read Mind
Mind
Control
Control
Facility.
なんか大丈夫これ。こんなとこ入って。すごいこう、ミスターインクレディブルのどのヒーローが死んだかとか見れるとこに似てる。
The lights rose on an
俺スター・ウォーズ
enormous
だなと
room
思ってた
packed
今。
with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
やばいやん、上司の部屋こんなんあんのすごいね。
何 LDK これ。
これ1万 LDK なんじ
いや、LDK ってあれ数なんじゃないの？
ゃん。え
あれ1万、リビングの数なんじゃないの？ 1LDK とかって。リビングとかダイニングとかキッチンの数の話なんじゃねえのあれ。
知らねえよ。
広さの話じゃないだろ。
じゃあそれで聞くなよ。これ何これ
あ、ボタンあるし。
これか。
Now the monitors
オー
came
ブ
to life.
何これうわ、
Their
眩しい。
true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the
うわ、
building.
怖っ。
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a
監視されて
screen.
る。
And Stanley
監視社会。
eternally monitored in this place.
すごいね、神様じゃん。
Freedom meant nothing.
でも誰もいないってこと本当にみんなスタンリー以外どっか行っちゃったってことですかこれ。
見てね。
上に飛んで
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe.
眩
It
しいな
couldn't
これ。
be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring
ああ、
job?
でもぽい
That
ぽい
his
ぽい。
emotions had been manipulated to accept it
マ
blindly?
インドコントロールされてたんかもね。
そういうことね。すごいブラックな感じ
He
で。あ、
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
スタン
in
リーが
someone
指
else's
示発人間から
control.
自
Never.
分で仕事を探す人間に進化しようとしてる。
Wasn't it? Was it even
自分
possible?
は社会人や。い
Had he
もう進
truly
化しちゃっていいよ。
spent his entire life
やもう
utterly
進化止めらんねえよ。
blind to
B
the
ネット
world?
するしかねえよ。
But here was the
て
proof.
ててて。
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
管理されてる。
Happy
感情も管
or
理されてる。
sad or content.
なるほどね。
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past
ディズニーで
began
こういう
to
映画あ
set
ったの。
in,
喜びと
Stanley
悲しみ
decided
と
that
かが
this
出てくる
machine
映
would
画。
never again exert its terrible
対売れ
power
てないだろう
over
な。
another
あ
human
売れてないや
life.
ろ。
For he would dismantle the controls once and for
確かにね、人間が本来あるべき姿に戻ろうと。
指示増し人間から自分で仕事探す段階にあって勝手に自分で自己判断で仕事して失敗するタイプの人間やこいつ。ほうれん草がなってねえこいつ。
それはそれであかん。あ、そう赤ボタンある押しとく。押せないっす。これ大激怒のボタンでしょこれ。
何？
あ5があるけ
順番に押したら1もあるんじゃない？ 5 しかないの。
ど。5しかないっす。あ、ありそうな。2がある。あ、1、2がある。いや、待って待って。これ多分ボタン押しちゃダメだね。
なんで？
ここでボタンを押すということは多分今までと同じ仕事だから、いいのかこの今までと同じボタンを押す仕事で。
あ、でもせっかく数字割ってあるからいいんじゃない？
スタンリー。
1押した？
一応したけど。
これ1、2で押してたら。
いいのかお前は。またボタンを押す仕事だこいつ。
上にボタンなかったよ。階段の上。
4や。
や。3がおらん。鍋やつが悲しんでる。
3だけおらんぞ。ラッキー。
倍数でもいいんや。
ラッキー。 お、3迷子なんだ。3？
どこだろうさ。ないことないでしょ。
いや、ないんじゃないか。いや、待て。
そこの
謎解き
後ろ後ろ、お前の後ろ。
このゲーム謎解き
違う違う違う、そのまた後ろ。
普通にある。
見えてたわ。
4。このゲーム走れないんだ。
走れなかったかな。
シフト走れん。
ああ。
ワン、ツー、スリー、フォー。もう5は俺の得意分野やから。
世界のふんどしは違うわ。
ファケリトリーパワー。もうなんともないわ。すごっ。あ、ここ来たことないな。マインドコントロール、アイドルアウェイティングインプット。
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it
動
was
いて
his
ますってことじゃ
duty,
ない。マイン
his
ドコントロール施設。
obligation, to put an end
な
to
るほ
this
ど。
horrible
誰もいない
place
もん。
and to everything it stood for.
確かに確かに。こんな。おう。えゲームオーバーこれ。
Blackness and a rising chill of
うわ、
uncertainty.
急に。
暗いな。
Was it over?
オフにしたからね。いいんじゃない？
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from
早っ。
someone else's command.
ゲームクリアじゃ
Freedom
ん。
was mere moments away.
いや、巨大長編大冒
Even
険だっ
as
た
the
な。
immense door slowly opened,
すげえな。12345ボタン押してスイッチオフしたら終わったな。
where had his co-workers
Eh?
gone? How had
確かにね、同僚がおら
the
ん。
machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight
一応
streamed
同
into the
僚
chamber, he realized
同僚を大事に
none of
思う
this
という気持ちはこいつ
mattered. Was not
忘れてないん
knowledge
や
or
な。
even power that he had been seeking,
暗すぎ
but
暗すぎ。
happiness. Perhaps his
お
goal
自然が
had
広が
not
っ
been
て
to
る。
お、
understand
外の世界だ、外の世界。
but to let go. No longer would anyone
あ、すごい
tell
すごい
him
すごい。
what to do or how to feel.
なるほどな。究極の指示待ち人間から自分で考えて行動するようになって自由を手に入れたと。
めっちゃええやん。よし。ほな、行かせていただきますね。
The only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open
はい、
door.
行かせていただきます。行かせていただき
Stanley
ます。
felt the
足を
cool
踏み入れた。
breeze upon his skin. The feeling
あ、
of
でも普通に
liberation,
綺麗だわ、こ
the
こ。
immense
本当の人
possibilities
生の始まりや、これがスタンリーの。
なるほど
This
ね。
was exactly the way, right now,
ここからか。
things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
え、何このゲーム？終わり？あ、違う
はい、
違う違う。
ということでね、ふんどしんさん。
どういうこ
今回やってるゲームが、ザ・スタンリー・パラブルっていうゲームなんですけど、今終わりましたよね。
クリアしたよね。
今クリアしてみて、どんなゲームでした？ちょっとあらすじ言ってくださいよ。このゲームの。もう一回。軽くでいいんで。
いや、指示待ち人間のスタンリー君が、
はい。
ちょっと指示がもらえなくて、ちょっとどういうことってなって、
はい。
スタンリー以外の人間もいないんで、いろいろ調べてたら、ちょっとマインドコントロールっていう施設があって、
はい。
そういうところで、僕たち、スタンリーも含めて同僚たちが操られてて、
はい
そういう施設見つけたんで、その施設を壊して、ボタンオフにして、
はい。
外に出たよって言って幸せだよっていう。
そこまでの動機、至る経緯ってあったじゃないですか。
はい
だから全ての行為にちゃんと理由がありましたよね。今、スンドシン君が行った行為って。
はいはいはいはい。
指示いただいてませんでしたか？どなたからか。
指示いただいてました。
指示待ち人間ですよね。
怖っ、ちょっと待って、怖っ。
指示待ち人間からの脱却できてなくないですか？
ちょっと待って、できてないわ。
始めていきましょうか、スタンリー。
怖っ、怖っ、怖っ、ちょっと待って。
Stanley stood for a long time in one spot. It's part of a game.
あ、
ナレーション言ってますね。
わかったわかったわかった。
さっきは動けって言ってましたよね。
わかったわかった。
動けてないんですよ、今。君。
Right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum.
始めていきましょう。よろしくお願いします。
なるほど、よろしくお願いします。よし、対戦よろしくお願いします。
わ
かりましたわかりました
好きにやってください。
なるほどね。わかりましたよ、もう。
いや、戻れなくなっちゃいましたね。
俺は
戻る、必要がないんですよ、だから。スタンリー、このナレーター的には。あ、テレビついてますね。あ、消せましたね、今。
いや、わかりました、わかりました、わかりました。なるほどね。ナレーション通り、通りに言っちゃダメだと。
話が進むわけでもないらしいです。
いや、こいつは嘘ついてる。俺は指示を待たないぞ。いや、待って、今、おそらくこいつ的には、同僚のあれとか、気になると思うんで、その辺も解き明かしていきたいですよね。
モニターまたついてるね。ついてるモニターついてるモニターあるね、なんか。
あ、ウェイティングインプット。あ、なんか、番号打てるとこあるこれ。いや、そういう、ここ、でも数字打てないんだけど。
受け取ったね、何か。インプットレシーブだから、インプット受け取りましたね。1個待ったね。探していこうか。まだあるかもよ。
何これ、なんかちょっとアイテム一覧みたいに見れん。
多分そういうのはなかった気がする。ドアとかもね、開くかもしんないよ。さっきは結構飛ばしてたけど、君。
俺は指示をもらってて。
何の疑いもなくな。
いや、だからちょっとな。なるほどな。だけは大丈
まあできること全部やっていこう。
夫。いや、でこの番号も意味あるんじゃねえのか。
あるかもね。
いや、なんやろ。
あれはもう多分動かんもんね、モニターは。
インプット何かをゲットした。何かをゲットした。
いや違う、なんかでも入力すんだんじゃない ?1 個だけ。全部埋まってなかったけど、紫色で1個埋まったじゃん。
あ、そういうことね。
ここ、2つのドアの前に来ました。そして彼は左のドアに入りました。さっき左入りましたね、君。
よし、左入ろうと。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
開かへんな。なるほど。今こいつは俺の脳に語りかけてきてる。
脳内に直接
オースカウセニのじっちゃん。
Truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
何もない。
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
廊下の左側にある最初のドアに通りました。そこのドアに入ると行けるらしいね、会議室に。行かないぞ。あれ
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
言
fired.
われたりすると苦手でした。手島していけやったのにな、ずっとボタン押すだけでよかったのにな。急に反骨精神が弱い。
急に苦手になったぞ、俺は。
なんて書いてあるのこれ。Waiting do not jump from the car.
ジャンプしてはいけない。気をつける。よし。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
怖いね。
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone
急
else
に
can
語
be
りかけてきて
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
怖いね、こ
all
い
this
つ。
time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by
はい
yourself.
はいはいはいは
I'm
い。
not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
彼女
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
彼女っ
To
て誰
put your work aside.
こいつあれ
To
か。
let her back into your life.
こいつには大切な人がいたんだ。だったら忘れていたんだ、そいつのことを。え忘れてしまっていたんだ。いや、なんかまあこういうとこ見るゲームではなさそうやな。
何でもしなきゃいいわけじゃないよ。
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly.
あ、電話取っちゃった。
いいんじゃない？いろいろやってこいよ。
え
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
パンを
I
出
just
し
pulled
て
the
る。
bread out of the oven. Oh.
あ、動けない。
Okay, there we go. All right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
そっちじゃなくね？お前、そ
Gotcha.
っち。
Oh,
どこ見てんだよ、
come
お前。
on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let
動
me
け
show
ない。
you what's really going on here.
はい、行きますー。残念でした。
Sorry, because you're in my story now.
すいませんでした。入ります。すいません。
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
まあまあ、普通って感じです。
ストーリー、スタンリーという男の死だって。死んでんのスタンリー。
僕もしかして死んでました
死ぬのやめてもら
Stanley
っていいで
is
すか？
quite a boring fellow.
で死ぬ
He
の
has
や
a
めていいです
job
か
that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes
なんか
is a
出てないもん
reminder
言った
of the
とかにそれ。
inconsequential nature of his
見る
existence.
とこないか。
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating
もしか
lunch.
してこれ、
Now he's going home. Now
何
he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him,
何を感じ
except
取ったん
that
や
he's chosen this life.
3、いや、3押してない。これ4押すんの違う。関係なく。
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From
どこ変わっ
behind
てない
his
また押した
desk,
ら。
Stanley dreamed of wild
ど
expeditions
っか変わった
into
り
the
だしね。
unknown,
押した、ボタン押したけどさ
fantastic。discoveries
変わっ
of
てない
new
ですね。
lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
ちょっと待って。
はい。
And so he began to fantasize about his own
テレビな
job.
くなった。
First, he imagined that one day while at work,
いや、ちょっと待って、もう意味不明になってきた。
to
何これ。
realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him
う
terribly.
ん。はいはい。
まあ、たまにあるよな。そういうなんか、世界が滅亡したらみたいな。もうそうじゃないけどさ。
He went further. He
一
imagined
つの
that
ドア
he
にも
came
行き
to
まし
two
た。
open
ついに来た
doors
選択で
and
す
that。he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay
一つのドア
behind
に
each
これ
door.
何があるか分
The
けな
mere
いした。
thought that his decisions
ああ、
would
これが
mean
つなが
something
ってます。
was almost too wonderful to behold.
これ、ここで Z とか、いや違うんか。
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he
な
began
ん
to
でも
fill in
ね
many possible
従わないっていう
paths
ゲーム
and
じゃないよ、正
destinations.
直。
Down one path
そういう
lay
ゲー
an
ムじゃない。
enormous round room with
いろいろできる。
monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved
模
in
様
many
見ました。
directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the
なん
背
て。
中は何もねえの。
背中は何もないです。
さっきもなかったこね、棚とか。
あ、なかった気がする。
なんかずっと同じとこ見てるけど、多分周り見て
It
もいい
was
かもし
such
れ
a
ない。
wonderful fantasy. And so in his
変わってる
head,
かもしれ
he relived it again. And then again. And again. Over and over. Wishing beyond hope that it would never end. that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
愛してます。
But there is no answer.
消えた。
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he
すごいディ
sits,
スク
the
が
more
強くなった。
invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
耳を持たず
But he
と。
won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
さっきまでお前は全部従ってこんかったけど。
よし。なんかできます？いやー、じゃあ朝から仕事するか。仕事しよう。働かせてくださ
You
い。
see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here,
Shiroなん
he's
かあんのそれ。
electing to kill himself? How can I get
最
him
初
to
の部
see
屋だ。
what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
疑問を捨てる。いや、疑問捨てるしかねえよ、
I
これ。
can't, not in the way I want him to. I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to
や
him.
らなければならない
Compelled
と。
to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this.
難しい難しい。何これ。
And I tried again.
はい。
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
え？はい？ちょっと怖い。
何でも従わないわけじゃないよな。それはそうよ。っていうことよね。何年間でやれよじゃないよと。まあいろいろや
All
って
of
こ
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
まだまだいっぱいあるわ。
Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
怖いな。
Perhaps he had simply
光ってるモニターだ
missed
け消してこう。探して。光ってるモニターなん
an
も
error.
ない
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
光ってるモニターで特にアウェイティングインプットみたいなやつだけでいい。ドアも多分ね、確か大丈夫やった気がするけどな。ドアあったかな。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
そう。あ、増えたね。2個目。
2になったぞ。
毎回あれだけ探していこうか。多分なんかあったっす。
いや、このモニターを押したんやけどな、あそこ行きたい。
いけんのかね。
いや、ここ行ったもん。こ行ったやん。
行ったんじ
行ったとこや。このモニター消し、いや、さっきも思ったよ。あのモニター消したいんやけど。
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he
ゃん。空い
doesn't
てる
pick
ドアが
up
捨てること
well
知らんだよ。
from his
すごいな。
environment.
それは知ってる。この辺ドアあんじゃないってわけじゃない。
しまった。
いや、さっきのモニターいけんのよ
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he
ま
entered
た
the
右行
door
こう
on
か。
his left.
右
ね、実はね、さっきのとこまで行くまでにお前一個道のね、すっぽわしてる。
尻尾がしてる。
うん。
いや、そこ行く
確か
か。
ね、お前なんかあれ乗ったっしょ。なんか動く。
ああ。
This was not the correct way to the meeting
地面
room,
みたいな
and。
あそ
Stanley
こ
knew
の
it
ね、
perfectly
左に
well.
通路があった
Perhaps
は
he
ず。
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
なんか
全然消せんな。で、あかんな。 うん。
Wow. Yes. This room. What a
こわ
beautiful
見た。
room.
じゃあ自
What
販
a
機だ。
gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
左
left.
側のドアは通ると元のルート戻っちゃうから、まあ後で入ろうか、そこ。
うんうんうんうい。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
いや、
こんな
さ
やついたらやべえよ。あ、入れんかったっけな。いいんじゃない、進もう。後ろ、その辺とか入れねえから。入れんか。
ジャンプ
乗るしか
で。
ないか。
これジャンプして
降りれるんじゃない、落ちれないのそれ。
落ちていいかな。
あ、落ちる。
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley left
ちゃい
from
ま
the
せん。
platform and plunged to his death. Good
ち
job,
ゃいませ
Stanley.
ん。
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
それちゃいません。
これがスタンリー自殺エンドですね。
All of his
Ah.
coworkers were... Wait, no. This isn't the
Oh,
right
there's a
office,
card
is
too.
it? Is this Stanley's office?
あれスタンリーのオフじゃない。
ね、結構ね、いろんな文章変わるからね。急に変なタイミングで、このゲーム。
いや待って待って、俺は何か見過ごしてる気がする。
どうなんだろうね。
とりあえずモニターはチゲラッチして、
モニターチケラッチョって概念。
チゲラッチしていけば、いいんじゃないでしょうか。いやー、ここよな。この2つのドアよな。
He entered the door on his left.
で、カード消えないといかんかった。カード。
通れたかし、左行くんですか、どっちでもいいっすよ。
いや、右、
さっき電話取らんかったらどうなったよね。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
俺も覚えてないから
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
いろいろや
lounge
ってる。
first, just to
い
admire
や、
it.
このエンドは巻いてないってことでいい。
ドアはいいんじゃない。
はい、や
The
めない
lounge
で
was
す。
sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
いや、
fired.
乗るしかないか。自殺しちゃう。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've
So,
gotten
右
off
行けん
on
の？
the wrong foot here. I'm not your
右？
enemy, really, I'm not.
さっきお前正
I
面が
realize that investing your trust in
あ、
someone else
こ
can
っから
be
降りれるな。
but the fact is that the story
う
is
ー
about... What?
はい。
Really? I was in the middle of something with zero consideration
来
for
ま
others.
した、こ
Are
れ。
you that convinced that I want something bad to happen
逃
to
げ
you?
ましたね。
Why? I don't know how to convince you of
これ
this,
じゃね
but I really do want to
美
help
しい
you
もの。
to
お
show
前
you
のさっき
something
のあれが美しいっていう
beautiful.
のよ。
Look, let me prove it.
美しいで
Prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
デンジャー。
電車。みんな危ないらしい、この先は。
デンジャーゾーン。いや、待って待って、一つ一つの行動が大事よ。
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
いや、ここやな。いや、待て待て。いや、これでも。
ぶっちゃけた話、全部やることになるからいいよ。好きにしていい。
運なことある。
あと、ない。運とかはない。青取ったら青の話があるし、赤取ったら赤の話がある。
ここで青と、ここで赤
Oh,
いか。
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us all trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop.
普通ならあそこで青いか
We
も。
would both be so much happier if we just
ちょっと待って。え
stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
積んでない？あ、うわ、怖っ。はい、残念でした。こっち見てます。え
What do we want? What are we
なんかこれ
looking
なんか怖い
for?
怖い怖い怖い。
何や
えなんかこれ。
宇宙じ
あ、ってわけじゃないのか。宇宙。お、すごい綺麗。
Yes. Oh,
え、すごい綺麗。何ここ。
if we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place.
綺麗やけどようわからん。
I think I feel happy.
めっちゃ喜んで
I
るよ
actually feel happy.
あれかん、これここ打ったらバンと落とされるパターン。俺わかるかな。この階段ごとビューンって下落ちるやつだこれ。
なんもないんかなさっきの
そういうわけじゃないな。
あそこも落ちれんのかな多分落ちれない気がするけど。
明日行くか。
No, wait. Where are you going?
え、どういうこと俺は行くで。急に普通のとこ行ったな。
Oh
まあ
no.
いっか
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
はい、登るで。
Please,
No,
no,
really.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
いや、待て待て待て。はい自殺場所じゃん、ここ。え怖っ。
まあでも死ぬしかないんじゃない
え
だって死んだら死なないでくれっつってるけど。行く場所もないよ。も
え、でもないよ。
う死ぬしかないんじゃない
死ぬしかないようですか、これ。
Please, Stanley,
doesn't
think
need that.
about what you're doing.
怖えな。
No! Oh, thank God.
生きるんかい。
You had me worried
生
there.
きるんかい。
Now, can we please get back to the other room?
何回もやってみたら。
いや、俺もちょっとね、思ったよ。
No. No, no. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm
あのね、
asking
なん
you
かね
not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
こいつね、喋ってる途中にアクションするとね、こいつの喋りが中断されるからね。
Let's go back to the other
喋ってる
room.
時は
Can you do that
ア
for
クション
me?
しない方が良かったりする。
あ、そう。
God, is this
喋
really
ってる
how
時
much you
に、だから今
dislike
飛び
my
降り
game?
たら、
That you'll throw
次の
yourself
なんか
from
飛
this
び降りの
platform over
喋りにな
and
ったり
over
す
to
る
get
から。
rid of it?
はいはいはい。
Literally willing to
一
kill
旦落ち着いた
yourself
な
to
と思った
keep
ら飛
me
び降り
from
たいと
being
思う。
happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
こいつを楽しむゲームだから。
うぃ
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
じゃあでかいな。
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
あ、でかいな。
何持ってんの何持ってんの
Is it over?
あ、死んだ。
え
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
え、なんす怖っ。もうなんそれ。
あのさ、
All of his co-workers were gone,
まあいいよ。次でいいよ。次ちょっと出るの待っといてくれ。すぐ出らん。
え
How hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
じゃーん。
こいつ最初は確かさ、動きましょうって言うよね。
うん。
どっかでね、ずっと動かないっていうやつあった気がする。多分最初だと思う。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
うーん。いわゆる右、ああ、じゃあ右って青のドア行くかな。
This was not the
青
correct
もあ
way
る
to
し、
the
電話
meeting
出らんの
room,
もある
and
し、まだ
Stanley
まだい
knew
っ
it
ぱいある。
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
どっちかというとこっち
Standing
の方が見
now
慣
in
れ
this
てるもんな。
incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took
Oh
the
my
first
God.
open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
行かせていただきます。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about... What? Really? I was in the
What?
middle of something. Do you have
Really?
zero
Really?
consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
いや、で、ここまではね、ここまでは正解なんですよね。
really do
こ
want
こま
to
では
help
正解なん
you,
ですよ
to
ね。
show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
赤どこ
はいと思わせて、はいと思わせますね。残念でした。
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the
やばこい
red
つ。
door.
と思わせてこちらですね。
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked
Huh?
through the red.
うるせえ。
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
はいと思わせて。
You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you?
めっちゃ終わってる。
I put a lot of time
すいませんでした。
because I did. And in the
じゃあ青い
end, it
扉
was
作る
all
ね。
for nothing because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help
すいませんでした
elucidate these strange and unknowable
赤いドア行か
desires
せてください。
of yours. What would have made this game better?
こんなゲームっ
What
て
did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
切れてる。
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
はい。と思わせて裏ね。
なんかところどころ欠けてんなって
これ。いけないか。これ何これ。このドアだけやべえな。気になる。
さっきまでなかったな、こんな扉。
うわ、何これ。
フリーズレイト your experience この経験の感想だって。
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about
新
your
バージョンじゃない
experience with
新
this
バージョン。
version. Would
なん
you
かさっき
say
まで
that
2
the
しかな
game
かった扉に
benefited
3つ目の
from
扉
allowing
出
you
て
more choices?
このゲームどうなかって
Feel
い
free to be
う
honest.
感想を
I'm
求め
looking
て
もう
る。
何それもう1じゃ11。
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations or saw ways the game
うるせえ。
could improve to more fully express itself mechanically and
扉1個増や
artistically,
すだ
but
け
a
やから。
one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new
あ、もう
version.
せん。
And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
え
左何左。スコアボードだ。
本物
や、わかんない。
どういうこと？
このゲームのリーダーボードがしてる。
やばすぎっし
まだ一番下は文字じゃなかった今。
ょ。マジ
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel
は
motivated to
なん
keep
これおい、ふざけんなもん。
working
111。
honest answers,
いや、ちょっと2
please.
にしてあげる。
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
まあまあ、見てやろう、
Let me
見て
boot
や
it
ろう
up.。
見てやろう、見てやろう。おえー、なんかこれ
The baby crawls left towards
え、まだ
danger.
まだはいはいして
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if
ど
he
ういうこと
reaches the
簡単じゃない
fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of
え、なんこのゲー
constantly
ムやば。
confronting the demands of family life.
Oh,
I
hey,
think the
no,
art
Pasha.
world will really take notice.
ちゃん
But
と
of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you
4
give
時
it
間は
4
せん。
hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
不快な音だな。
終わりがない、終わりがない。ちょっとどうしよう。もういいわ。いやいや、もうちょっと待って、何これ、何これ。はい、はい。
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's
ありがとうござい
over.
ます。
Thank you for playing.
ちなみ
Your
に
input
確
was
かこ
extremely
れ4時間
valuable.
プレイし続ける
Oh,
称号
hey,
があっ
since
た
my
気がす
game
る
was so
このゲーム。
awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
やべえな。
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
いいぞ、いいぞ。え
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A
Micro
game I
ですよ
had
ね。
absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a
何
greater
これ。
artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
ちゃんとマイクラだ。
This will go here. No, here. And then. Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes,
お、
it's complete. I made this, Stanley.
これいい
Look
え
at it. Gaze
Yeah,
upon my
quite,
work of art and feel ashamed
Not
at your
scripted at all.
own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please,
失礼し
step
ま
inside
す。
and make yourself comfortable.
失礼し
Isn't
ま
it
す。
grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come
Diamond,
along,
eh?
Stanley. We have to go mining.
あ、なんか進みそうやけど。もうマジマイクラなんだけど。
前から
Oh
曲が
my,
流れてる。
it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
持ってきてないよ、これ。
古いなマイクラ。今こんなんじゃないもんな。
Oh, no, 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 no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something
Ah,
more
ouais, ouais,
narrow
ouais,
and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
はい。
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it.
これは君は知らないと思いますけど、Steam で最も有名なゲームのポータルっていうゲームまんまなんです。
What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
ポータルっていうパズルゲームで、
はいは
ただポータルのストーリーもめっちゃこれに似てんのよ。
い。
ポータルの先なんだけどね。
It's a puzzle.
なんか
Critical
パズルをやるだけの
thinking,
主人公
Stanley.
がだんだんパズルやっていくんだけど、その途中でなんかこのパズル自体って何なんっていう意味考えて動くみたいな。
はいは
Genius.
天
い。
才。
楽しいこのゲー
No,
ム。
actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these
お湯割りと
games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push
降りたらなんか下あるやん。
I think
あああ
何書いてある？フィリングキャビネット。あ、キャビネットの大きさ雑すぎん？
86×60。
多分インチなんだろうな。
暗い。暗い。あ、やばい。もう怖い怖い怖い怖い。怖い怖い怖い。
後ろもあるよ。
わかんない。
暗いなぁ。
ね、暗い暗いこれ。暗いの。お
なんかゴリラ。
おわかんのかよ。来て来て427、427。あれボタン押すこと得意やで。
なんもねえのここ。
え
なんもなさそうやん。
なんもないって。やべえ。え
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very
怖いんですけど。
I can wait.
ん
もう待ってる、なんかあったかもしんないんだよな。
マジか。進んでるの。
なんかモニター見たりしたら、なんか話し出さない その辺の部屋からやつ。やっぱ4人は自分の部屋だよ。話出そうって。
どうやろう。水飲もう。
いいんじゃない？
水飲も
うん。どっかにあったんだよね。ただ立ち止まっとくだけっていう。あれが。
う。よし。ちょっと待ってくださいよ、これ。
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
これもう一回、これ多分あれだな、イザナミと一緒じゃないこれ。
He couldn't find a trace of his
なんならし
イザナミと一緒だよ。
ナルトの話してる。
ああ。
イザナミがどうなんだそれは。
もう一回指示通りやればなんかいけそうだ。
そういうのはないよ。
ないの。ありそ
まあいろいろやってこう。やってないことやってこう。やったことあることはやらなくていいよ。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
ノート屋も開かないってことで。
まあ気がめて
Stanley
さ
felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
さっ
his
き青い
left.
扉の後って何かあったっけ？青い扉で
その後になんかデコった赤い扉入ってない。
Incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
いいんじゃないかな。どうなんだろうねあれって。赤い扉に入ったことになるとダメなんじゃないかなと思うけど。
I'm not sure.
ダメなの？
Really, I'm not.
わかんない。まあやってみてもいい。
I realize that investing in your trust in someone else
なんか元のルートに戻るだけの
is that the story has
選
been
択肢もある
about
から、
Really?
それはあれなんだよね。
I
単
was in
純
the
に
middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
手間が
that
増えてるだけ
convinced
だ
that
か
I
ら。
want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me
俺さっ
prove
き
that
赤い
I'm
へ
on your
いや
side.
青入った。
Give me a
い
chance.
や赤入っ
赤入って
Now listen
赤も
carefully.
入った。
This
赤
is
最初入って
important. Stanley walked through the red door.
赤は自殺したって最初に。
自殺した。
なんか
ああ。
まだまだいっぱいあるよ。やってないこ
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
赤い色はもうないっけ？
と。いや、デコレーションしたりとかこの後ある。
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
あ、入っ
You
ちゃう。
see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices.
多分ね、戻るだ
The
け
two
だ
of
と
us
思う。
always trying to get somewhere that isn't here.
その赤ルー
Running
ト
and
に。
running and running, just the way you're doing
Masz.
right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop.
わかんない。この1個後のデコレーションドアだったら違うのかもしれないけど。
If we just stopped. And I think, well, I think
デ
I have
コ
a
リ
solution.
ース。
Here, let me show you.
こっちだったっけ？
何が？いや、お前はカイこっちとか言って背中がね、入ってて。多分変わんないけど。
来た来た来た。
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's
もうこのゲームマジサイコパスだな。
no. Wait. Where are you going? If we just stay right here, right in this. Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
多分もうこれ
We'll
自殺する
lose
しかない
all
か
of
ら、
this.
何回もやりたくなかったらリセットしていいよ。エクスケープキー
Please,
さんで
no
きる。
stairs.
オプション
スタートゲーム。いや、ビギンザゲームでいいと思う。
リセットしてくれないんかい。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
モニター見てこうや。さす
Stanley
がに。
decided
モ
to
ニター
go
だけ
to
見
the
てこ
meeting
う。全
room.
部。
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
似てるけ
多
ど。
分スキップしただろ、今、だいぶ。最初の。いいよ、別に。
この辺あかんしな。
When Stanley
They
came to a
were
set of
やってないよ
two
ね、それ
open
は。
doors, he
右
entered
入っ
the
て
やって
door
ない
on his left.
電話左やったっけ？
右。
This
右
was
で
not the direct
降りん
way
や
to
つ
the。meeting room,
途中
and
で降りてるや
Stanley
ん、さっ
knew
き。
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
こっち？オッケ
ちょっと待って。はい。ここは、入ってもいいよ、いっぱい。多分でも戻るだけかな。
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got
正
back
しいル
on
ートだから。
track.
多分最初に左にいたルートだね、これ。
ー。
で、会議室があって、
Yet there was
Oh.
not a single person here either.
マ
って
ジか
いうルー。トに。
Feeling a wave of
あ、でもこっちも全
desperation,
然やってないよ。何
Stanley
もやってない、こっ
decided
ち
to
も。
go
こっ
up
ちの方
to
がやっ
his
てない。
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
そこ
Oh
入ってみる。
no, oh no, 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 no,
何もないって
no,
言われん
not
かった
again.
さ。
I won't be part
こ
of
こには
this.
何
I'm
も
not
ないです
going
って
to
言われんかった
encourage。you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to
し
be
なが
patient
ら。
and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your
よし。
time.
本当に何もないのやめろよこいつ。
下のスパナとか取れんの？なんかあった気がするんだけどな。なんもない？
本当に何もないこいつ。
疑ってるな。
本当に何もないやん。
なんもないんかな。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
で
his
ここで
boss's
下に
office.
行くんですね。はいはいはい。そういうことですよ。
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
この辺がオフィス。
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
なんか
All
な
of
んか
my
なんか。
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence
Ginny
in a
B.
single moment for no reason at all.
なんか
None
な
of
ん
it
かあ
made
る
any
あるの。
logical sense. And as
単
Stanley
純にあれ
pondered
じゃない
this, he began to make other
よ
strange
くあるじゃん。携帯屋の待
observations.
ち時間と
For
かでさ、
example,
こういう。
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close
That's fine.
automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
あ
simply
れこれ同じ部屋？
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream.
イザナミじゃんこれ。
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers were
Iza nami da
actually
これ。
gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself
ピンピン夜。
and began to gently float above the ground.
あ、なん
Then
か空飛んで
he
ね。
imagined
え、
himself
空飛んで、
soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so
夢らし
much
いからな。
fun. and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
確かに。
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a
この
dream.
マップに意味はないよ。このお話を今聞く時間だよ。
And he invited himself to wake up.
あ、
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up.
起きてくれ。
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the
まあ、ボ
buttons.
タンを押したいんね。
It's all I want. I
スイッ
want
チオ
my
フにしてないから
apartment
ね。
and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
うん。
I am okay.
ごめん、サメと。
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is
まあ
Stanley.
別に
I
夢
have
じ
a
ゃない。
boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone
ちょっとなん
tell
か、
me I'm real. I must be real. I must
赤なってる赤なってる
be
赤なってるけど。
Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
ん
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
誰マリエラ。
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was
Stanley.
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This must be new. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am
こいつ
sane.
もなかなか。
I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
本当かな。
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain
い
way,
や、はよ
seeing this man
救急
made
車
her
呼んで。
feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
失礼いたしました。救急車。え
全部ステンリーの夢、妄想で、実際のストーリーさんには死んでいたと。そういうルール。
しんどったんや。死んだってじゃん。
All of his co-workers were gone.
いやだから
What could it mean?
別
Stanley
に
decided
あれ
to
が
go to
正
the
解ってわけ
meeting.
でもないから
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
お前の選択肢のルートではそういう話だったよねってそれだけの話は、ね、別にこのゲーム自体がそういう話ですよっていうことを言ってるわけじゃない。
そうだね。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he
あ
entered
ー
the door and
右か。右ですよね。
まあどっちも何も言ってないから。
This was
どっち
not
もま
the
だ全然言っ
correct
てな
way
いか
to
ら
the
好き
meeting
にしていい
room,
よ。
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
なん
just to
か
admire it.
マジで
And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
一旦こっちちゃんと行
Stanley
く
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
よしよしよしよし
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her,
電
Stanley.
話
You need to be the one to do this, to reach out. Oh, no, you can't.
あ
Did you
I just
just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't
No,
supposed
just-
to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
できること
Let
しか
me
知らなかった。
double
俺も知らん
check.
けど。
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge
そんなん
themselves
じゃなか
to
ったら
one
電話
another.
取ってる。
Music
なんだ
comes
こいつ
in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How have I
Wait.
not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch.
白いと
I'm
ころ
going to
に白い
stop
部
the
分
game for a
読みづれえ
moment
よ
so
お
we
前
can educate you properly on
ちょっと
safe
ずらして
decision-making in the real world. Please
ずらし
observe
た
this helpful instructional video.
教育ビデ
Choice.
あ
It's
ー
the best part of being a real person.
え
But if used incorrectly, it can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a
ビ
choice.
デオ
He could spend years helping
なんかこ
improve
こは
the
日本語
quality
訳
of
がもう
life
出
for
せんらしい
citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make?
そうなの
Remember that unlike here, the real
なん
world
か
makes
正しい
sense,
選択を
and
し
at
よう
no
みたいな話
time
を
should
確
you
かして
make
た
a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person
どういう
who
こと
does
どういうこと
not
何
make
今の
sense, in all likelihood, that
何
person
今の
is
計
not
算
real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and
気に入ら
practice
ないから
saying,
殺したってこ
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack.
とんプラクティスえ練習モード
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis
Eh,
is
bueno,
the
bueno,
best
eh.
part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually
してるよ。
meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
た
急に普通のとこ行ったけど。戻ったくね。
なんか戻って見てみましょうとか言ってなかった今、ナレーター。戻っていいんじゃない？
戻ります。
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
飛び降りられたけど、さっきまでは策ができた
We
よね。
just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
お、すげえ、下降りれるの。あ、下降りれる。
It
降り
seems
るの
this
が。
place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
降りれ、あ。これは降りないかな。おいと。いいね、モニター探しするか。
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The
欲しいエンデ
story
ィング。
will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
新しいエンディングだ。
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll get to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
こはどっち？いや、これあるんかな。
悩むね。でもさっきまでさ、その柵ができてたりさ、間違った行動しようとしたらさ、できなくなってたから右行けないんじゃない？行ってみたら左に戻されると思うよ。
戻される？
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
なんこれこんなんやった。てか、いけねえな。
だから右行けないんじゃない？さっきの柵と同じでしょ。もう
はい、
正しいことに
ということで、さて、ごめんって。はい、解決。あれ？なんこれ？
I can't believe after everything we talked about that my
部長じゃなってるよ。
you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
やらなければ。急にゼビウスみたいなことしてる。
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever.
どういうことこいつ、やばいやん。
My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
めっちゃキレてるやん。
What did you think that would
そ
be
んな悪い
funny?
ことしたか
You
な？
just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be
言う
like
こと聞かなかった
Stanley?
わ。
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you,
激
had
高
it?
してる。
That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
ちゃ
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I
そんな
tried
大したも
so
んなかった
hard.
で。
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
え、また？
普通に左入ったらもう、さっき右入ったが先に乗ったあなたじゃないっていうことを言ってたけど、彼。い
じゃあ右入ればいいってこと？
や、まあ好きにしたら。
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Eh?
Right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave
ない
exactly
で
as
す、
Stanley
それ。
would. That means choosing
実は。
responsibly and
ない
always
っす、それ。
さすがにね。
100回クリアしてないっす、
quite
そ
sure
れ。
you'll be up to the
さすがになかっ
task.
た。
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When
すいませ
Stanley
ん、すいません、
came
すい
to a
ませ
set
ん。
of 2 open doors,
ごめんな
he
さい。
entered the door on his left.
入ります。なんかめっちゃ眩しいけど。眩しい。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
あれ？
decided to go
いっちゃん
up to
最
his
初と一緒
boss's
だな。
office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
下行けなくなっ
walked
てんの。
upstairs to his boss's
そうなの？
office.
本当だ。すごい、これちょっと、いよいよ感あるっす。こっちどあ、そういうのじゃないっぽい。
お前なんか、お前のカメラの動かし方酔うわ。左右に振るから気持ち
Stepping
悪い。
inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again
Still-
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked,
I'm not
unraveled,
that
Stanley wondered in disbelief
Yeah,
who
Charlie.
orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his
いちい
questions.
ち、
And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work?
どうやって
There
打
was
つの
only
よ。
one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the
スタンリー
courage
声出し
to
たことない
face
だろう
the
な、確かに。
unknown. He drew a sharp
ボタン押
breath
すだけやのに。
and then spoke the code.
あ
Stanley spoke the code. Night
ナイトシャーク
115.
115。
He spoke it into
声
the
でけえよ。
receiver right there on the
ナイト
wall.
シャーク115。ナイトシャーク115。
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
Eh?
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial
オッ
step.
ケーオッケーオッケー。オッケーオッケー。なんだっけナイトレシーバー
Okay,
115。
fine. You're not going to do it, but you know
間
what?
違ってる。
It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly
Yeah,
decide
yeah.
you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect
だってお前
Stanley shows for
ス
his
タンリーじゃねえ
choices.
よ。
He
お
knows
前が
what
喋っ
it
たって意
means
味
to
ねえ
take
よ
a。story seriously.
え、
If you
俺スタン
didn't
リーじゃ
want
ね
to see what I had to show
お
you,
前スタンリーじゃ
then
ねえ
why
よ。
did
ふん
you
どしんだ
come
よ。
here? You had
Ah,
a choice, you
so-
know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have
なり
done
きってん
whatever
だ
the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you
こいつ
coward.
急に切れるよ。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
怖い怖い怖い怖い。
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Night Shark 115。
I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything
どういう
okay?
こと？
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs
どういう
you.
こと？どういうこと？どういうこと？
It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work
文章
together.
読む
I'll
ね。
accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know.
もしかして
I
これ
know
俺？
this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? You
いや、こいつかわいそうに思えてきた。
Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
分かった今の。
わからん。
だからそのナレーターとしてはスタンリーが行動してると思ってたし、スタンリーじゃなくて現実のお前が操作しよったっていうことでずっと苛立ちを覚えとったわけやけど、実際スタンリーとお前っていうのは同一存在で、乖離したからスタンリーが動き出すなんてことはなくて、もちろんスタンリーを動かしたのはお前やから、お前がいなくなったスタンリーは動かんし、ね、ナレーターから見たら全く動かんスタンリー、これなんで動かんのかもわからんし、でお前はスタンリーから乖離してゲームの世界離れてしまったから、何もゲームの世界でも何もできなくなってっていう、誰も得点っていう状況になったっていうエンディング。
The
はあ。
meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
ムズムズブーズブズじゃんそれ。
俺はね、このゲームはマジでナレーターの語りを楽しむゲームだからさ、好きになっていくよね、どんどんあいつの音。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
何やってないかなと。
じゃもう一回指示通りやっていいですか？
あ、いいっすよ。
それ
全部
違う。
指示通り。まあ、ぶっちゃけなんもないけど。ぶっちゃけるとなんもない。ぶっちゃけるとなんもない。それ。
なんも何？
どうしようかな。右行こうか。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
マジでお前のマウスの活動がした気持ち悪い。
え、こんなんやろ？
いや、
But
FPS
eager
みた
to
いな
get
動かし
back
方
to
するから
business,
気持ち悪い。
Stanley took the
Eh?
first open door on
気
his
持ち悪い。
left,
FPS みたいな動かし方するから気持ち悪い。左。
and so he detoured through the
エレベーター乗っ
maintenance
てないよね、
section,
さっき。
walked straight
乗って
ahead
ない
to
ね。
the opposite door, and got back on track.
どういう動かし方するんだよね。こういうこと？
いや、もっとね、上手い人たちはね、ゆっくり動かす。酔わないよう
But
に。
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So
左右
now
に
in
振る
order
と
to
4
get
よ人間
back,
っ
he
て、だ
needed
か
to
ら
go
気にする人は結構気にする。
From here it's left. Oh no, no, it's to the right, my
わあ、
mistake.
クソ思い出せない。
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly. Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
あ、行った瞬間入るからな。
We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
は？
戻ってきた。
ここ来たくね？近道じゃね？
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be
来ちゃった
here.
来
This
ちゃ
is
った
all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
飛んだな、画面が。
来ちゃった。
We just have to get back to oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
ファイヤーがあ
From
る。
the top.
なんだろうね、ファイヤーって。
104ファイヤーで。ナイトウォッチャー115。
で、毎回違うのちょっとずつ。
いけないか。いや、待て。ちょっと考
なんて
えるか。
考える？
このゲームエンディングとかないんですか？
あ、実はないよ。
あ、そうなんだ。
What could it mean?
好きなようにしてやって
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
ある
Perhaps
程度
he
やったら
simply
満
missed
足す
a
るゲームだ
memo.
から。
そういうことね。
あると思ってたんや。ないよ。こんななんか、綺麗にドラゴンを倒して、この世界の謎が解けて、ナレーションと一緒に幸せに暮らすみたいなのないよ。それこそ一番最初にやったよ、お前が。あれがエンディング。
あ、そうそう、なんか、あれもう一回見たいな。
見たらいいんじゃない別にない。
When Stanley. Wait.
あれ？
What?
Eh?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be
なんだこいつ。
change. Stanley, did you change anything when we were back
はい、
in that
この
room
人
with
や
all
りま
the
したね。
monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
はい、見つけちゃいましたね。
It's an adventure. Come,
はい、右
Stanley.
です。いや、
Let's
ここで右やっちゃうか。
the story.
いっぱいある。
ここで右やっちゃうな。あれ？は？あれ？扉ありすぎじゃん。
うん。増えたね。
うわ、なんだここ変だな。これモニター全消しコースいけそうだな。
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been
ちょっ
on.
とちゃ
I
うか。
promise you, there
確かにね。
definitely was a story here before.
モニター全消しコースいけそうだ
Do
こ
we
れ。
need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely
Ah,
that we'll
戻
ever
って
progress by
きたな。
starting over and over again, but it's got to be better
戻
than
ってき
this.
たっぽいね。
Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
なんでナイトシャーク115。
声でかくすんのやめてくれんうるさいわ、それ。
あ、うるさいこれ。
All of his
Who's that?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
倍ぐらいでかくなるかな。
Stanley
モニ
decided
ター
to
全
go
消
to
し
the
コース行
meeting
きたいん
room.
やけど。
Perhaps he had simply missed a
後で
memo.
やろう。同じ場所に出ない。
モニター消さなくていいですか？
いいよ。
これ今ゆっくり回す。
まあこんなもんじゃない。本当にね、左右にシャッシャ動かすとね、
こ
弱いよ。
う。
それね、それあんまやらない方がいい。それやっていいね、
Okay,
FPS だけ。
it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's
扉
possible
な
the
くなっ
story is
たよ。
back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
あれか、じゃあ高感度でゆっくり動かしてんのか。うまい人たち。
で、ガッチマンとかやんねえよ、そういうこと。
ガッチもこういう感じでちょっとずつこ
それもやし、なんもない時に歩き回ったりもせんし、左右に。あれじゃない、
う。こういうこ
そうなんか、そういう感じじゃない？
とあ
閉めた。
これ。あ、モニターついてる。いや、消してないけど。じゃああれか、じゃあある程度マウス高感度にせないか。
高感度、低感度の方がいいんじゃない？
いや、高感度をゆっくりやった方がいいってことだよ。だって、低感度やったらいっぱい動かさないか
別にいっぱい動かしたらいいじ
ら。そんな俺、幅ないんだよね。
ゃん。いや、なんかね、いや、マジでこれ裏の話になるから、やってる時に言うかって話だけど、
Aha!
なんか、
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the
Look,
other
yeah,
way
wait.
and retrace our steps.
かな？
ストーリーぐちゃぐちゃやん。
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
やばいこいつ。
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
ヒカキンだ。
I know you
イ
put in a
エ
lot of
ー
hard
イ。
work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh no,
ありがとうございま
I don't
す。
feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this
restart
time.
now.
I have to restart.
なんこれよっしゃ。
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable
Oh,
adventure
right.
line. Just follow the line. How
What
simple
it
is
is.
that?
消せない。消せんやん。消せんねまし。まあいいわ、とりあえず。
ないですね。
俺はこのルート行きたいんだけど。
もういいんじゃない？
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction.
この
Onward, Stanley,
この線
to
ははみ出ちゃ
destiny.
ダメなやつ。
Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
あれ
Now we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a
赤ちゃん戻ってる
byproduct
進ん
of
でる
one's subjective
戻ってる
experience
気がする
of
けど。
that existence, right?
戻ってないこ
Okay.
れ。
Now, if my experience
I'm
of
not
your
sure.
existence rests inside of
こんな
your
ぐるっと回った
subjective
しさっき。
experience of this office, is this office
well-
in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
あ
I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what?
メリーライン
I
引いてある
think
し。
what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
何これ？あ、だよな。
マジで てんてんてんてんてんてんてっててってなんだ
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
戻れってさ。
Wait,
戻れ
we're back at the office? No, Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right?
シダを見ろ、
The story?
シダを見ろっつって。
Is any of this
シダって
ringing a bell?
そうじゃん。
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
よし見た死だね戻ってきたここおおこっち開いてるあえ
Oh, no,
Not
again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
待ってこれ
Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
えお
Oh, no, not you again.
またや
Stanley, I'd also like to meet our client for having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
また出たな上行ってるやん
ついていけるかあんのに。
おお変な
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
ここ大事
I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a
え
minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
よいしょいけんかはは
Oh, hold up. What's this?
なんかなんかなんか
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
えこれ
It's all
記録さ
one
れとった
giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep
こいつも被害
restarting.
者
I
だっ
don't
たの
want to
か。
forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this.
Hi,
I
boy.
won't restart the game. I won't do it.
決
I
まってる
won't
んだよな、
do
このエ
it.
ンディ
I
ングの。
won't
ああ、
do
なる
it.
ほど。
どっちもしね
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
え。俺何回やり直したっけ？
I guess now we just wait.
多分今
You
4,
know,
4回目
I
で。
suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't
そう
you?
食べら
スケ
れる。
ジュール見つけたじゃん
Not。quite sure if we're in the destination or
ケ
the
ジュー
journey,
ル
though they're always saying
What is
that
that,
life is
schedule?
about the journey and not the
Oh, hi, hi.
destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime,
ちょっと待って、あれ通り行ってね。あれ通り行ってんな。
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Oh,
decided
what
to go
the-
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
今
memo.
の今の多分終わった、今ので。
どういうこ
だから今の混乱エンディングって話なんだけど、混乱エンディングが今終わったから、
うん
さっきの話はまだなし。だから4回目とか5回目のループって話もなしだよね。
と ?1 回目これじ
普通に。
ゃん。ナレーターしなの
Stanley
よ。
came to a set of two
キ
open
ープオンしたか
doors.
ら
He
パソ
entered
コン
the
切ったっ
door
て
and
設
he
定な
left.
んじゃない？
ああ。
ブブって落としたから。
Yet there was not a single person here either.
実質
Feeling a
クリア
wave
じゃ
of
ん。
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
ナイトシャーク
What could it
8115。
mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
あ、ここじゃないわ。ごめん、なんでもない。
あれ、こんな音楽流れ
上がった。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
?よし。全力全力全力全力。よしよしよし。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
これ今
read
何しようとしてる？
Mind Control Facility.
エスケープある
ここからの分岐がもうそのエスケープのしかないです、実は。正面行っても何もないです。全く同じのが見れ
Although
る。
this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
死ぬんだ、エスケープしようとする。
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
やべ、死にそう。 信じねえな。生きてる？
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was a loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
What?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
生きてるぞ。え？
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
喋ってん。すごいすごいすごい。わ、すごい綺麗。お、すげえ。お。
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in
実験して
advance,
て。
death becomes meaningless, making life the
あ、
same.
ここめっちゃいい。
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
死んでったい。ん？何？
裏話が見れるんじゃん。
マジ裏話じゃねえか。
マジ裏話が多分見れるんだと思うよ。
ここからスタートして、あれ2つの部屋って言って、え？はあ。そうなんや。この辺の写真綺麗やな。お、スタンリーズコンピューター飾られてる。
展示されてるな。
あ、ここめっちゃいいな。あ、ここモニター前傾指向図でいけそうやな。
クレジット。
マジエンディング感あるな。そうか。地球段階でスタンプスに腕や手がエンディングする。そっちか。本当に意識が慣れたい抵抗ししかしエンディングがあまりふざけすぎていて、穴につくことだけになりました。また私たちに強いところではありませんでしたが、シューティングゲームが好きな人ばかりしている感じだし。
没エンディングだよね。
ん？
没エンディングの話じゃない。
全然ちゃうやん。全然違う話。 メール見るできんって。はあ。あ、変わっていってるんですね。
広くなってるわ。
あ、ほんとだ。机もでかいし。こことここそんな変わってないね。
物が増えたの。
何これ。あ、
ああ。
いろいろ考えとるやん。式部じゃん。おお。ええアルファベート。ボスズオフィス。
上司ってボスって
初期バージョン。
マジ裏話だね。
これ無限これ終わりない感じ。
どこから出れるんじゃない？
入れるのかな。
上じゃないと入れるとしたら戻ることある？
いけたほか。
いや、そこはさ、最初の地点でしょ。
いけるとこあった。
知らんけど、あるんじゃない？
登る。あ、
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
来た。
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program.
もう死ぬやつやん。
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
エスケー
As
プ
long as you
キ
move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
ー。
Stop now. Be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
死ぬ。
選択せんから。
これさ、
多分クイットしかないと思うよ。
マジか。
無
クイットっていうメニュー
駄に死んだな。うん。無駄にスタンリーが死んじまったよ。
死んだね。これ今のクイット押さないかんかった？
うん。いや、一緒やで、押してもぶっちゃけ。
ああ、まあまあ。まだ死なんで、よかったの的な。はい、ということでね。
え
なんかあるのか。
あと10個ぐらいあるよ。
10個あるの？
あるよ。あるよ。
10個あんの？
This is the
扉閉めようか。
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
おい。死んじゃっていいですか？
あ、いいよ、全然。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
どうしようかな。434って部屋探して。434デスクだわ。机434にデスク書いてある。434って書いてあるところ。前じゃない？ 1個前の部屋じゃない？
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
あった。
椅子乗れるんですよ、それ。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
机にも多分乗れます、それ。椅子からだよ。
入れた。
窓行けるんだよね。
窓？
そこの窓。あとしゃがめるんだよね、このゲーム。コントロールで。
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
俺割と好きやけど。
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Hmm?
何もできないのかもしれない。もしかしたら実は。俺知らないこれ。この後どうするのかも。
エスケープクワイエット。
ファイエットビギンザゲームでいいんじゃない？
マジか
あとはね。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
ちょっとビギンザゲーム連打しようか。
マジ
なんかね、青い部屋が出るみたいなんだよね。やってると。
へえ。
と変化があるまでやってみようか。終わりましたね。
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were
426を探
turned?
そうか。
He made a note to be more careful with time.
Yeah.
from now on.
お部屋です。
部屋あれちょうどない。あった。
開かない？
あかんあかん。
じゃあ、これ紙散らばってるだけだな。開くらしいんだよね。紙散らばってるのは何なんだろうね、これ。
ね。
散らばってるだけかもしれない、これもしかしたら。
リスタート
どうだろう、進んでいっても何もないから。ないね。
When Stanley came to a set of two open
あの先にもあるんだけど、まだ。ちょっと周りはどう？青いか、これ。
青くはない。
426じゃん。
開かない。
え
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
短っ。
entered the door on his left.
ビギンしようか。いろいろあるもんだな。
あれ、すごい。
ビギンでいけるんかな。タイトルまで戻んなきゃダメ。
で、変わりよったけどね、ちょくちょく。ああ、これまたあれだ。
426。
タイトル
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
タイトル戻ります？
まあちょっと青い部屋を探したいけどね、俺見たことないんだよね。そんな低確率なことあるかね。やり方間違ってんのかなと思っちゃうけど。毎回タイトル戻ろうかじゃあ。青くはないからいいんじゃない。
Stanley knew. Stanley decided.
またまみれてる。
まだこれ。まみれるってことはピギンザゲームで良さそうやな、なんか。
なんて
メニューに戻る必要なさそうじゃん。
All of his co-workers
な
were
いかな。
gone. What could it mean?
書類まみれ。
All of his co.
あ、
出た。
All of his
426
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
ホワイトボードエンディ。
これです。他にもできることあんのかな、ここで。
かわいいな。スクショして。
多分他の部屋は開けないと思う。行ける場所もないと思う、多分。
いいじゃん、本当にホワイトボードエンディングだけ。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't
マジ？
make a single difference. Nor did it
あ、いけた。
advance the story in any way.
ここから普通いつも通りだと思
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
う。
he entered the
次
door
が
on his left. This was not the correct way to the
あ、
meeting
右行っちゃったの。
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
右行っち
first, just to admire it. It was okay.
右から左戻ろうか。いやいや、いい、そのままで。いいよ、そのままで。そのままでいいよ。女子の部屋行って。
But eager to get back to business,
左から行けるし、
Stanley
左
took
まっ
the
すぐ行ったらい
first
けると思
open
うよ。
door on his left.
う。G？
うん。
And so he
女子の部屋
detoured
でそ
through
っ
the
ちまっすぐ行った
maintenance
ら。
section, walked straight ahead
Shit.
to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office hoping he might find an answer there.
何してんの？上司の部屋の前にね、パソコンあるね。あれこんなのあってたっけ？あ、通れなくなってる。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
パソコンあるでしょ。
これ？
違う、入る前。はい。で、上司の部屋に入ったら扉が閉まっちゃうので、閉まる前に部屋の外に出てください。それ後ろ向いてやったらよくね。
Okay, I think we all.
はい。開きましたね、扉が。どっか。
あ、来た。
ここじゃないかもしれない。他のとこも多分開くと思う。まあちょっと探してみて。そこの白いところじゃない？
白いところ？
うん。
こう？勇気あったじゃん。下行くのこれ？
そうじゃないと思う。自分の部屋の手前まで戻るらしい。
マジ？めっちゃ戻る。
うん
閉じ込められるよこれ。
開かないね。
あか。
これやってるみたい。やり直ししかないよ。なんかうろちょろしたせいで扉閉まっちゃうバグがあるんだって。
へえ。ビラビラだ。
右から行ったじゃんお前。右行っちゃダメなの。
ダメだよ、け。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door.
また戻ろうか、自分の部屋のとこまで。
戻るか。はい。こっち？
自分の部屋まで行っていいよ。
自分の部屋どこやったっけ？ あったあったあった。
そこ空いてなかったよね。
ありゃがったの。
いいよ。
あ。あ。はなんだ ?U はなべふ。これは760。760いく？
上がるのは760回ってことなんだろうな、多分。
うん。すげえ。来た。これなんかある？なんかある。ん？え？
意味わかった？
わからん。
まあ、お前は普通にもう走りますとかあれなんだけど、エスケープボットの前に注意書きみたいなのがあって、壁に書いてあったんだけど、なんか、乗らないでくださいってのが書いてあるんだよね、あれに。
うん。
で、ナレーターとスタンレーがどっちもいれば脱出できるポットがあるっていう風なのが書いてあるんだけど、
うん。
ナレーターが上司の部屋に一回引き返した時に置いてかれてるから、プレイヤーしかいなくて、ずっといなかったでしょ、ナレーター。
あ、なったの？
だから脱出ポット使えなくてゲームが終わったっていうエンディング。あとはね、434の部屋探してもらおうかな。
Stanley decided to go to the
434
meeting
desk.
room to check on his
Desk?
co-workers. He never functioned well by
Order.
himself and constantly needed support and
Yeah,
guidance
no,
from
no.
others.
What's the-
So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to
What's
him.
that?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
してるでしょ。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it
Well,
didn't make
で
a
もらわ
single
ないとでき
difference,
ないから。
nor did it advance the story in any way.
してないし。
乗ったら乗ってコントロールをしながらでね。なんだろう、一回やり直したら。
電話鳴ってる。
電話鳴ってんじゃん。
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
あ、いけた。
あとはなんだろ
Understood. Your order will be canceled immediately.
うな。怖い
Thank
っ
you
てこ
again
れ。
for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
ちょっと喋る。
まあ多分これが最後だな。もう一回ビギンしようか。
めっ ちゃ喋るやん、今のやつ。
I can't wait to tell this story to my
ビギンした
coworkers
して
and we
止まっ
thought
といて。
how amusing they'll find
え
it. Oh, won't
ビ
we
ギ
all
ンして
just
もう
laugh
一回
and
で止ま
laugh?
って一回出らんで。右見て。
お、ある。お。え怖っ、何こ
どうぞ押してください。
れ。押してください。
ボタンです。
え
おめでとうございます。ゲームクリアです。
やった。あ
究極の指示待ち人間のスタンリー君は
好きなだけ。
さまざまな経験を経て好きなだけボタンを押せる空間できたので、これでゲームは終わりです。
やば、こ
どうでしたかこのゲーム。だいぶ僕は大好きなゲームなんですけど、元からあんまりやったことないタイプのジャンルだったんじゃないかなと思って。
れ。ないね。
そこそこ楽しみなんじゃない？
あ、そこそこやね。本当に無限のせいなの？あ、無限だ。このエンディングや。あ、止まった。あ、おい。
好きなだけ押していい？全部押せるから。
このエンディングやばくね？やべえって。
でもスタンリーの天国って言ってるから嬉しいんじゃない？
スターでいる。
あとはね、赤ちゃんをね4時間燃やさないエンディングとか。
それはやばい。
このゲームを何年だっけな、8年ぐらい起動しないエンディングとかもあるから。
へえ。
まあ気が向いたらやってみたら。
作った人マジやべえ。
いやマジで天才だと思うよ、このゲーム作った人。ごめん、エンディングじゃない、称号だわ。5年間起動せずにもう一回やって起動するとか。火曜日にこのゲームを一日中つけっぱにする称号とか。
やべえって。
退場方法がない称号とかあるらしいから。
はあ。
すごいよね。
それでかもうこいつら頭おかしくないですよ。やば。
いやもう多分トゥルーエンディングだからいいんじゃない？ここであと余生を過ごしたら。
復習したかな。
じゃあ
やば、この絵ちょっとエンディングやば。
まあ一番やばいのは多分赤ちゃん4時間燃やさないようにするエンディングだけど、
まあまあまあ。
動画で見たらぐらいじゃない？多分もうあとは見たよ大体。
すげえな。
この人が作ってるね別のゲームで、まあちょっとスタンディパラボルと似たような感じあるから気になったらやってみてもいいんじゃない？それはそれで面白い。ビギナーズガイドっていうね。スタンリーよりはもっとなんか考えさせられるテーマで作ってるゲームがあるか
考えさせられるか。
らおすすめです。じゃあ
何の意味ですか。
お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様です。エヴァさん。